Hi everyone, it's Carrie from PhotoBook pHaNaTiC, and I'm delighted to share with you a PhotoBook page recipe for a table of contents. In this video, I'm going to go through all the design elements I used on Shutterfly so you can replicate this exact page or use the ideas to inspire yourself and create your own design. You know, a table of contents is an awesome way to start off a photobook because there's a high degree of interest on this page. Let's reflect on this for a quick moment. We've got an intriguing title at the top that is framed and made from 3 different fonts and colors with nicely color-coordinated ribbon at the top and bottom. This combination of large font, color, and framing is the first thing that readers will focus on and will gain their interest. Below this is the bulk of the page content. Here we have brightly colored framed photographs and a coordinating color tag that lists the topic name and the page number for the event. As readers start to look this over and match the topic name with the picture, they're moving from being interested in the page to actually becoming more of an active participant. This is what happens when a reader becomes engaged in the content. And in my previous videos, I've really stressed the importance of designing pages that are both interesting and engaging. So that way the reader comes away feeling like they've experienced something special. And when they do this, they make a connection with the event and the people in the photos. This is exactly how memories are made. So 20 years from now, your kids or your grandkids will read through the book and they're going to have a better understanding of who you are and what you've done. But right now, I don't want to delve into the design process and discuss things like randomizing and aesthetics because I cover those topics in other PhotoBook pHaNaTiC videos, so you can check those out later. Let's get focused back on the beachy, ocean-themed table of contents page. You know, if you think of it, the table of contents is kind of like the trailer to a movie because it hits the highlights of what's to be seen. The important components are the visual image and its corresponding name and page number. Now, you'll notice on this page that I have 8 events listed, but in actuality, this photo book covers more events. This just happens to be the most important ones according to me, the author. But you could do more or less depending on what's important to you. This table of contents design was created for Shutterfly 12 by 12 album, but all the recipe components I go over are fully available and adaptable to the other Shutterfly photo book sizes, both square and rectangle shaped. Okay, so let's start looking at this photo book page. I'm going to start in a layered process, discussing things in the back, and then work our way to things that are layered on the top. So the first thing need to talk about is going to be the background. If I click on my options on the left here, if I go to backgrounds, we're going to see that I had selected painted coral, and it is a pretty peach red coral at the bottom. It kind of fades to white at the top. If you're wondering how did I go about putting this in the clipboard on the left, well, to do that, you can just click on Get More Backgrounds. I mentioned that the title of this is Painted Coral. Now, there is one problem with putting in the full name. It gives you absolutely nothing. Maybe somebody from Shutterfly IT department can watch this video. Maybe they can change things to make it easier for us. So instead of putting in that full name, let's just go with coral by itself. Okay, and then it kind of limits your options here. The one that we selected was this. Okay, it's how it looks. And if you don't have this on your clipboard, what you would do is you would click on it. And when you do, you'll end up getting a red box around it. Then the Add to Project button will light up and you'll click on it, and that will put your background page on the clipboard on the left. Mine are obviously already here because I've already used it in my photo book. Okay, so let's take a look one more time at this painted coral background, but let's compare it to the actual page, and you'll see at the top, I've got this blue. Okay, how do I go about that? Well, that's actually a ribbon. So I click on Embellishments, Ribbons, And this one that I used is Polar Gradient. Okay, if I click on it, you can kind of see how it's much darker on one end than the other. And to get this look, I actually inverted it. So I turned it all the way around and I moved it up to the top. And that's how I went about doing it. Again, let me show you one more time if you don't know how to get something in the clipboard. I'm in embellishments, it's a ribbon. If you don't have it in the clipboard, you just click on Get More Ribbons. You get a little search box. And I can't put in the full name Polar Gradient because it won't pop up. But if I just did Polar, voila, okay, I've got about 10 different ribbons that all have the polar color in them. That's a great way to search for color if you're looking for something specific. And this is the one right here. You can kind of see it has like a gray top to it. You're going to click on it. It will highlight it with a red rectangle. The Add to Project button will illuminate. You'll click on it, and then it will pop up on the left. So that is that element. And then we have this super cute, kind of whimsical fish right here. This is actually also a ribbon. This one is going to be SF-fish. SF-fish, and I used 2 of these. Okay, it's not one giant ribbon that's behind this frame. It's 2 different ones entirely. I did that because if I were to put it behind, it just gets a little complicated. I don't like the view of the fish being cut off. I also wanted to make this this frame kind of pop out. I didn't want anything competing with it or around the border. So I used 2 different ribbons. So I would add that twice to the page. All right, let's move on to this title element. There's a lot going on here. So if I move this frame out of the way, it's going to help us a lot to expose what's on the underneath side. Okay, let's talk first about this peachy rectangle here. This is going to be a sticker. So embellishments, stickers, and this is right here, REC1 Satsuma 50. And then on top of that, I have, you can look here, I've got these blue ribbons. There's one at the bottom and I've got another one at the top. Oops. Okay, kind of move those around so you can see them. Those are going to be Ribbon Marine, and there's 2 of them. And then on top of these guys, they each have another smaller sticker. I'm still in stickers, by the way, embellishment stickers. This one here with the triangles, this is HS-triangles. And I've got the one at the bottom here. It has like a peachy to pink kind of fade. And this one is called Bar Texture Melon. Alrighty, and then this yellow circle is also a sticker. Dot Single Haystack. And what's really cool is that this word amazing, this actually is a sticker in itself. This is not a text box, and it's just text amazing. All right, now if you're interested in these, wondering what the font is and the sizes that I used on my text here, these were text boxes that I had inserted. The word hour is done in station number 1 font, regular, size 80. The color is lapis. And adventures is done in free land. Be careful because there's also a free hand, but this is free land with an L. Regular, size 54, and the color is magenta. And then last but not least, I've got this frame that I put over all of it. And this frame is going to be Landscape Frame Torn Edge. And when you look this one up, search for the word torn. Don't do landscape or frame, it's not going to pop up, but torn is the best way to find that. All right, so now we're going to talk about these, the square boxes that I have here for my photos. And I want to tell you that with these square boxes, there is a transparency factor to them, okay? Meaning that if I take this photo, right now it's on top, it's layered on top, but let me move this to the back. Okay, can you see how I can kind of see the photo underneath the orange frame? And you know, this is certainly a design choice. I didn't want mine to look like that, so all of my pictures are actually layered on top of these little squares. And then what I did is I added all of the squares and I sized them identically, because if you layer one on top of another, I can kind of show you that with this picture here. Okay, if I do this, you can see how there's like some light blue lines popping up where those two edges meet between the picture and the orange frame. Right now, if I click on this corner here and I drag this up, okay, if you can see that all the way around, it's the light blue line, meaning that those are now the identical size. That is what I did for all of these different color squares, the orange, blue, pink, and yellow. That's how I made them all the same. Okay, and I did that first, and then I added these pictures on top last because I didn't want to have that transparency issue. All right, so what about these squares here? What is their magic? Let's take a look. All right, the orange ones are called Bright Coral SQ. I have 2 of them. And then the tag that is off of it, where I have the word ziplining or coral cats, that is called Tag Bright Coral. So 2 of the squares, 2 of the tags. And what about the blue one? The blue one is called Frame Sky SQ. And that tag is just Tag Sky. For the pink one, it's Frame Magenta SQ. And the tag is Tag Magenta. Now the yellow one, there's 2 different yellows, so be careful here. The one that I chose was Frame Haystack SQ, as opposed to Classic Yellow. Classic Yellow was a little bit brighter, and I just kind of liked the more mute color, so I picked the Haystack. And then it also has a coordinating tag called Tag Haystack. And then finally I've got 2 cute little ocean stickers that I put here at the bottom to try to balance off the fact that we've got the fish stickers at the top. And let's go and find those. Gotta move up here, okay. The little shell that's in the bottom left corner is called Clam Shell Slate. And the starfish is Doodle Starfish Orange. Okay, so I have given you all of the recipe elements you need so you can create this exact page and have fun with it. Or maybe this is going to give you some new ideas for you to try other things on your own. If you're interested in what I've presented, please be sure to check out my other videos. I go into a lot more information about how I come up with these designs all on my own, and it involves 2 processes called interest and engagement. And interest, which is broken down into randomizing and aesthetics, and engagement, which can be done in a variety of ways. So thanks so much for tuning in. This is PhotoBook pHaNaTiC Carrie saying goodbye and happy shutterflying.